That night, Jeremiah settled his bulk into a bunk in the Johnsons' barn. Strictly speaking, it should have been more comfortable than Verna and Reggie's back porch, but he missed the breeze blowing through the screen, and he maybe even missed that old hound dog, too. There was something consoling about the whiffles and whimpers of a sleeping dog. Might have to get one once he was back in Kline. Louisa said she wished she could give him the guest room, but it was happily full of family. And that was a true statement if he'd ever heard one. When they came up into the yard, they were riding double on Freeman's 2 mules, Noah and Mary Ann together on one, and Jackie holding on to Freeman on the other. Although he had to be nearly 60, Freeman had hopped down like a man half his age and lifted the boy after him with a whoop and a shout of joy. "Louisa, come see your grandboy," he hollered. Louisa burst through the door laughing and crying, and Freeman lifted his grown son down from the mule with a tenderness that put a lump in Jeremiah's throat. He'd offered to put up the mules, and Freeman slapped him on the back and shook his hand, saying thank you over and over again. Once he returned from the barn, the family was gathered around a table set with a lace tablecloth and rose-strewn china. The room was filled with voices, laughter, and the smells of roast pork and fresh bread. Even Gainey looked young and free in a way he'd not noticed before, and boy, did he notice it now. Although since he was leaving, he figured he'd better stop. They ate and talked and told stories, and Louisa had him tell the station master story all over again. Everyone laughed like it was the funniest thing they'd ever heard. And although Noah's cough was terrible, the pinched look he'd seen on Mary Ann's face back in Ansted had eased. Jackie had the look of a boy who'd been given his first hunting rifle and horse on the same day. When it was time to go, Jeremiah and Gainey were barely out of the yard before Freeman called them back. "I've got a bunk out there in the barn. You're welcome to use it if you'll give me a hand in the orchard the next few days." He grinned. "Noah will help once he's healed up, but I sure could use your help until then." Jeremiah opened his mouth to say he was leaving in the morning, then glanced at Gainey and saw her expression tighten and her lips turn down, and just like that, his plans changed.